I'm gonna share with you 5 tips to get you to sell more t-shirts. What's going on, fam? And thank you all for showing up here to SA13, helping beginners with their startup t-shirt business. At the end of the video, please like and subscribe to the channel if you find any of this information helpful or informative. As discussed in the intro, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will get you selling more t-shirts. And make sure if you have any tips that you want to share with everyone, please go ahead and put those down in the comments below. Now, this doesn't have to be tees. This could be masks, socks, whatever you're trying to sell. Now, this past weekend, I hit up the Chargers and Browns game in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's no secret that I love everything Chargers and everything San Diego Padres. Most of the hats you will ever see me on this channel with are either one of those 2 teams, except for my Scully I have on now. Now, being a fan, I know, or at least I think I know, what Chargers fans want to see in Chargers apparel. So what I did is created my own design in that same vein of the Chargers that I knew would spark interest around this video.
Bo fam, let's ride. 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 Mic'd up, let's ride.
Now, of course, this is Keenan Allen, aka KA13, a wide receiver with the Los Angeles Chargers, who was trolling Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos. He ended up coming up with some type of saying of Broncos country, let's ride. And as you can see in the video, Keenan Allen had a little bit of fun with that. So I thought I would have a little bit of fun with that as well and create a t-shirt in that vein. And so when this had first occurred, I was still starting up my business. And one of the things that you really want to try to do is whenever there's something going on, something trending, you want to try to jump on it right as it's happening, try to put some feelers out there. But what I did is, even though I couldn't really do that, I immediately started to contact some artists and try to get a design that I thought would resonate with some of the Chargers fans. I didn't wait until I had all of my equipment in. You know, I could have sat on it and just waited, but no, I really wanted to try to seize the opportunity and try to get a design created as soon as possible, even before I went full production with my business. Now, ideally, when something like this is going on, you see something that's hit and people are having fun with it, you want to try to jump on it and seize the opportunity as much as possible. But you also want to put those feelers out there to see if people are receptive to it. Now, this brings me to my 5 steps that allowed me to capitalize on this situation. Number 1, find a target audience in your niche. Now, of course, my niche is my Chargers family. I knew that over the past couple days after this had happened, there was parodies, there was jokes about it, there were memes about it. People were going crazy using that tagline, Bo fam, let's ride. So this said to me, yo, people might be into something that has this saying on it, which comes to my next tip. Number 2, get a feel for what the customers want and then create it. Now, this could be based off recent events or it could be based off past events, but you want to try to gravitate those more recent events because nothing probably has been created about it and it's still fresh in people's mind. And if it's funny, people will want items that has that saying or that's depicting whatever is going on. I started letting some of my friends know on some of the fan pages that I belong to and kind of got in their DMs and I was like, hey man, I'm about to try to put out this. And what do you think about it? And they were like, oh, dude, that is dope. That is hype. How can I buy one? Where can I get it from? How much does it cost? All of these conversations kind of stemmed from me just putting it out there and just saying, hey, what do you think about this? So I was kind of starting to get confirmation that I may be onto something and that something like this could probably sell. Now, tip number 3, drop those breadcrumbs. Now, what I mean by that is I started to do mock-ups with this design. And if you don't know what mock-ups are basically pictures depicting people wearing whatever it is that you're offering. It works for me because it has all different people that I can pop a logo on, and no matter if it's a sleeve hit, chest, back, whatever, they have certain models that you can use. Now, once I created these mock-ups, I would kind of put it out there to people or put it out there on the different forums and basically say something like, hey y'all, I just created this, but I'm really trying to figure out what color looks best with this. Does it look better in powder blue? Does it look better in black? And what this allowed me to do was put my design out there in front of people without them feeling the pressure of having to buy anything. You know, basically they were like, oh yeah, I really like that powder blue, or man, it really pops with that black. And so the last thing I want to do is have people feel like I'm pressuring them to buy something, because I'm really not. This way, they're doing it on their own free will. You just put it out there and then the questions will start to come. All these things that will tell you that different people are interested in your product. And this brings me to step number 4, create your opportunity. So I knew that the Chargers and the Browns would be playing and that this particular game was a decent distance away from me. It was about 6 hours and I'm willing to drive that far to go watch a game. And so what I did is, I know that all fan bases usually do this, but I know specifically for my Chargers fan base, we usually have a meet and greet the night before a game. So before I left home, a couple days before, I printed up a bunch of powder blue ones. I printed up a bunch of black ones with that design on it. And I got these color combinations, or what I felt needed to be the ratio of powder blue shirts to black shirts, just from the information that I was kind of receiving from those different forums. I knew a lot more people wanted powder blue than black. So I drove 6 hours to Cleveland, got my hotel, freshened up a little bit, got back on the road. About another half hour away, got to the meet and greet. So I kept all of my shirts in my car intentionally. I didn't want to come off as if the only reason that I was there was to pedal or push my t-shirts. And so I genuinely wanted to interact with everyone there, build some rapport, because to me, this is my Charger family, and we have interacted for years in some instances over Facebook and other social media platforms. And to be able to see these people actually in person, that was important to me. So I didn't want to come off as that was the only thing I was there for. I genuinely wanted to mingle with everybody, talk to everybody, and build that camaraderie and that relationship. But one thing I made sure that I did is I wore the t-shirt to the meet and greet. That was by far the best thing that I could have done, because what that did is that opened up a conversation. Even though I was there to mingle and talk to people, once they actually saw the shirt, it kind of was a conversation starter. People started to ask me, hey man, that's dope. Where'd you get that shirt from? And then I just kind of opened up and say, well, you know, I actually make these. And they're like, oh really, where can I buy them? Where can I get them? And then I basically say, hey, I have some out in the car, but what I'll do is after I get done saying what's up to everybody, then I'll go out and get them. And so that, you have to be genuine in that, because like I told you before, I really did want to stay there and talk to people and mingle with people and get to know them, because it's, like I said, it's been people I've talked to for several years or whatnot. I then went ahead outside, my car wasn't too far away, grabbed up the shirts, brought them back in. Then I found the gentleman who I initially first started talking to, who was the first one that came and approached me about the shirts. And then I started to pull out the shirts and showed him what I had. Now the good thing about this is there were people that was around him at the time. And so as I was pulling these shirts out, everybody else started to kind of gather around, and they were like, oh man, I like these. What are these? Are you selling t-shirts? And so I was like, yeah, here you go. I got these. And it really just drew people around me, and people, you know, people are hyped. We got the game that's going on tomorrow. People want merch. People want Chargers merch. And so this was just a great opportunity for people to grab that. So I had only brought about 15 to 16 shirts. You know, I was traveling and I didn't want to be burdened with a bunch of stuff that I wasn't going to be able to sell. Now I actually could have probably brought everything that I had as far as with that design on it. Like I said, I didn't want to be burdened with that. So I ended up selling every single one of those shirts, well, except for two. There was 2 large black shirts that were left. However, everybody was really into the powder blue ones, and unfortunately, probably about six other people, they wanted either an extra large or double X, which I didn't have because I had already sold out of everything. Without a doubt, I could have sold more, but I was left with 2. So I just think selling 14 of those shirts, that was a win in my book, 100%. Now, for the last and final tip, this was huge to me, and I understood that and I wanted to do it, so I did it. It is all about the packaging. Now, we've all gone to games and concerts and you You see people outside selling shirts, you know, they have it in a Walmart bag, a bunch of them, and then they'll have one out that they're, you know, saying, hey, look at this shirt. And so there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, you know, having a bunch of t-shirts in a pile somewhere and then you have one, but that's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted the customers, the people who I was putting these out to, my family, I wanted them to have a good customer experience. I ended up folding the t-shirts with the folder that I bought, with the shirt folder that I bought from Amazon. That'll be linked in the description below. I ended up putting those in clear poly mailers, and then I put my business card on the inside. And so it just looked super dope. I can't even remember how many compliments I got because it just looked professional. And I think people are a lot less hesitant to buy something from you if something looks professional. If it looks like something was created with care, people will gravitate towards that and they'll want to buy it because it looks legit. So everybody, there you have it. 5 tips that will get you to sell more t-shirts, hands down. It worked for me, and without a doubt, if you follow some of these tips and tailor it to your own style, it'll work for you. So if this helped you in any type of way, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want more information on how not to destroy your business like I almost did, go ahead and click on this video here. Take care, and remember, everyone deployed, and I'm out.